where there is a tarot card reading for the next week, and I am just going to draw two cards. I'm going to draw a card and another card, and just with the idea of the energy of this week. Um, these cards are going to read my energy, and probably hers. We're sitting so close, but I know that for Mel and I, we're really hoping to kind of reprogram. We're going to rewrite, you know, the script here and figure out what the script really is for us. And we are, pretty serious about doing that and healing, and also, just becoming a bigger, better part of our community in whatever way.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the vibes that I'm kind of bringing into this. I want like super grounded vibes, like grounded vibes. That doesn't mean that you can't act. That doesn't mean that you can't act passionately. We can do it from a grounded place, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Better to do it from a grounded place.
Better to do it from, I guess. Yeah. Yes. Oh, so the first card that I draw is the Seven of Pentacles. And, so I do think that this is a stage that we're kind of watching what it is that with the energy that I just brought to you, what Mel and I are doing literally is looking into our budget. Yeah. I think that's probably pretty commonplace right now. We're looking at our budget, and we're trying to figure out where the money comes from, and what things to pay, and what's necessary. Like I said, like I'm trying this restream out to see if I want to spend another $20 or so on this,
Mm-hmm.
In addition to all the other things. So we're all just kind of balancing it out, and we're also just kind of waiting on our payday. No doubt, I think that we're just all trying to find out what it is that we can do for work. I guess I don't like that word. That's a 4-letter word to me, and I just don't
to support
work.
ourselves.
Yeah,
right?
to support ourselves, to be happy in our lives, comfortable in our lives, to have our needs met, and a little bit of our wants as well. I'm not asking for the world here. I just need $2 million and an 8-ball, 8-ball of cocaine.
All right,
Uncle Baby Billy style. So, we're going to see the work that we put in right now. We're really going to see it blossom and move and grow. Okay. We also have to be patient with ourselves as we figure out this new way forward, and as we figure out who we are, what we're doing. Don't push it. Like when we see where we're at, don't push yourself too hard. Give yourself grace, and others. If you give yourself grace, you're more likely to give other people grace. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I really believe that there are a great, huge number of people who are just going to switch professions, or not even switch professions, but just end where you are now, whatever that is that you do for the paycheck, and figure out, like really how much of that paycheck you need, and how much of that you want to do in your energy, like how much, like how much you're putting in now, you're going to be more in control of.
May I say my 2 cents?
Yes.
So we were just talking about like what we're growing,
Mm-hmm.
like literally getting grounded, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about getting grounded, and this is what comes up out of the ground when we get grounded, when we apply ourselves in a way that is grounded, when we apply ourselves in a way that is calm and steady and self-assured, because we're going to do what we know how to do. Then there are fruits to be earned from that. There is compensation for that in the terms of maybe physical health and safety, or maybe monetary abundance, or other kinds of material wealth. And the guidance with this card is also like, okay, so you see what it is you're growing, you see what kind of abundance is coming in. Stay the course.
Mm-hmm.
It's not time to pick those tomatoes yet. Okay. So stay the course, stay in the game, right?
Right.
We've really just begun once that fruit starts to ripen. Okay.
When I looked at that again, I thought about how surprised we are when we saw those potato plants growing out of the
Yes
pile.
Yes.
I guess we just, I think both of us have had household compost piles before, but it had been quite some time that we had participated in something like that. And then, I think that I'm always like baby shocked and surprised. I'm like, oh, look, oh, yeah, of course that can happen. But, we forgot that we even planted it. I didn't think of it as a seed when it went in the ground.
It was just a potato.
It was just, I just thought I was doing something better about, the way that I, are my trash. You know what I mean? So interesting how that happens.
Mhm.
So another kind of caution about where you put your energy, right? Because that's where it grows. What grows
you
is
think
what you
on
put your,
grows.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So okay, one more card for the energy of this week. Knight of Wands. Woo! Do it, get to it. Here, yeah. I can't stand it. If you can get it in the place, then I'll hold it up.
All right.
Okay, the Knight of Wands. Okay, so like this is how I feel. Actually, will you hold that card up because it's a knight and I've got to draw it. Like I've got to figure out the Knight of Wands is going somewhere. The knight
Right.
has something to say, has something to do. And anytime that I draw these things and they're moving, like
It's an action card.
where are you going?
Yeah.
What does this pertain to?
What's happening?
Making new plans.
Unfolding new plans.
Unfolding new plans. Maybe there are already new plans, a new path, a new way. Like I said, I do think that I know it's so wild. Oh, that's perfect. That's good. Yeah, to have some new to have some new plans. And if you've had something in the back of your head and it's not really coming to fruition, you haven't moved it from the back to the front.
Mhm.
It's time to move it from the back to the front and just kind of tip your toe in the waters here and go for it. Like like if it's your idea, if it's your invention, if it's your want, if it's what that will really make you happy, then what are you waiting for?
Right.
You're not going to have an opportunity to wait any longer. You need to act on this. So I feel like these are new plans. Like I said, I think people's professions, jobs, what they're doing, like their everyday routines are being, looked at and will be turned on their heads right now. And especially in March, when we get into the spring, like, so to me, this is kind of like making your plans for a spring break already, or something along those lines, but just kind of making that plan. And I've been telling everybody there's something magical about February 12th. What is that aspect that happens February 20th?
It's the 20th, and that's Saturn conjuncting Neptune at the beginning of Aries. 0 degrees Aries. Okay. It's very powerful stuff.
Yeah. And for me, I'm going back, 7 days a week, and really having people put in the work. Like I just told someone, hey, I know that you want to do your own thing, you want to buy your own profession, you want to work out of your own office, then have you looked at what it costs or what those spaces look like, or what's out there? Because it really will take a while if you have an idea in your mind of what you want to do, to see if that thing exists already or you have to create it.
Right.
And I feel like that Saturn aspect that's coming in on February 20th, I think that's going to be very powerful in a lot of ways. But I also think that that's a way that we can move that. Saturn I think of as money, as our what we do to support ourselves, and we can move that ball forward a little bit more for ourselves. And if we have the idea and we start acting on it, we start really putting energy into it, I think it's going to show up. I mean, I just think it's going to show up. So we have to be open. We have to be open to having the plans, and we also have to be courageous enough to make the first step. We have to be courageous and brave enough to just go for it. All right. The Knight of Wands is not waiting. There's no waiting with that horse. All right. So if this is something you've always wanted to do, this is your sign to go for it.
Yeah.
There's no hesitation. And if you hesitate, you're just going to be miserable, because right now everybody's going forward. We're getting into Aries season even. So, like, please step on board.
Definitely, the fiery vibes are upon us. I started out with saying that, and this is a very fiery outlook for the week. Just to say, there's nothing to it but to do it. If you are sitting there thinking, I don't know why I haven't blah 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 yet, then it's time to start looking into the blah 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 of it, okay, and getting into it and taking action.
I have
you can't see results unless you take the action.
It's true. Yeah, I have a confession to make. There are a lot of important things that I really needed to have taken care of last week. And I started to go down that list to take care of them. And again, the mutable stuff is happening. So it's like wall, wall, wall. And I said, you know what? I'm putting all that down until next week. And then I'm just going to do one thing a day, a hole, poke a hole in it. Just what is the most annoying thing on your list right now? Take care of that, because when you start taking care of those lists, those things that make you anxious, like it will allow you might want to go to number 2 on your list after that, because once you feel that lightness, that heaviness lift, like you'll be able to
take care of the thing you least want to do first.
Right.
And it gives you such a feeling of achievement when it's over. And then you've got that little dopamine hit from it, and you can say, yes, I can achieve things. And then the worst thing, the thing you least wanted to do, is no longer on your list. It's miraculous that way.
Right. I think this is the energy that we're all sitting in. Like, I've done enough. This is some bullshit.
I'm tired.
I can't believe all this crap has happened to me right now. I just kind of picked up the middle of the deck because I was feeling that. And this is exactly, like, look at that. Like, there's a battle. We've been real. We felt like everything is a battle, but that's really, I think a lot of that is just a little bit of that Neptunian fog. It's not a battle. Everything isn't a battle. Everything isn't everything isn't what
a
is
conflict
it?
Or
a conflict, or like, just because we're talking and we might be raising our voices, it doesn't mean that we're fighting, or that you know what I mean. Like, so we got to figure out how to do that and regulate ourselves in a way that like we can do these things.
And also, like, with that comes with some guidance to, like, not trying to fight every single fight, right? Like, you can spread yourself too thin, going after getting aggressive or assertive, fighting every fight that you see around you. Fight the fight that is the most necessary for you. Fight the fight that you think is the most essential. Stay focused in that one direction, and that's how we make the progress that we want to make.
I agree.
All right. Well, that is the Midwestern equivalent of "we're done here."
Yeah.
When you slap your knees and you go,
or ready. A lot of us have signs with our partners, like if we stand up and tip our hat, or if we go to the bathroom and look at you, it's time to go. You don't have to say anything. Yeah.
So
time to go.
Lovely to see you all this weekend. Thank you for tuning in. Yes. We do appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe. Please. If you get any value from this channel at all, or even if you don't, please subscribe to the channel. And you can catch us back here next weekend on Sunday at 10. Also, click the notifications bell, because sometimes we pop in between randomly. Yeah. So, love you guys. Have a great week.
Give yourself grace.